welcome to the Zen Zone. Zen Lee here. I've been seeing a lot of, if you guys don't mind, I want to start with a little safety tip, and then we're going to get into my most dangerous moment where I almost had probably my worst injury ever, my closest call. I have a video of it. It was a super dangerous moment, so we're going to get into that. But first, if I could talk about safety and give an update on the tariffs, that would be great if you guys don't mind. And a shout out to one of my sponsors. We have the SV Bonnie. This is a brand new camera. I haven't tried it out yet. It mounts onto the rail bars like on my Sherman L. It's a 4K camera / GPS with super good price. So we're going to test this out soon. Post up some videos. But if you're interested, it's the SV Go cycling camera. I'll put a link in the description. Also, a shout out to my newest sponsor, TSTR002 eBike. I know not everybody wants an e-bike here. You probably want an electric unicycle. But if you have anyone in your family or anyone that's interested in a new e-bike, I've been riding this for a while. I'll be reviewing it soon. I really love it. It's super cushy. If you have someone in your family or something that wants an e-bike, I have discount code ZenZone for $100 off. It's the best discount I have available. The ZenZone for $100 off an e-bike. Any electric device is cool with me, and this is a street legal e-bike, so it's legal here in Vegas. In Vegas, they're really cracking around on the rich kids riding around on Surons. That era is over where you could just rip around on a Suron. Now we have this super cush TST bike with hydraulic suspension. The suspension is super comfortable, and it has big fat tires that are just it's such a joy riding this. Very similar to my Windone bike. But yeah, discount code ZenZone for $100 off makes this bike an absolutely peach of a purchase. Okay, so an update on the tariffs. A lot of this is my opinion because there hasn't been any change on the 145% tariff, but it just doesn't seem sustainable at 145%. Again, this is just my opinion. It does not seem sustainable to keep it at 145%. I don't think it's really hurting the Americans, and this is just my opinion. I don't think it's hurting the Americans as much as it is hurting the Chinese, and our electric EUC community is hurting that here in the U.S. So I'm sending good vibes to China. I really hope we come to agreement, and there's supposed to be a meeting this weekend in Switzerland. I think this is confirmed news where China is meeting with the USA, and there's going to be talks of de-escalation. China, before they wanted a meeting, they wanted us to drop the 145% tariff. We have not dropped it yet, but I just cannot see it sticking, because if it does, I mean, it's not going to stick, right? Oh, well, I can't say that. I can't say that with any amount of certainty. But it just doesn't feel like it's going to stick. You know what I mean? It just like doesn't seem. It's so unreasonable that just seems like there's no way it could stick. But that's what it is right now. If you have an EUC coming in port, that is probably what you're going to have to pay, or your dealer is going to have to eat that cost. Probably you will have to eat that cost. So that is an update on the tariff situation. I believe by the end of the month at least we will go down to a 50% tariff instead of 145, which seems still really high, but it's more reasonable than 145%. And then if it does go down to 50%, I don't think the consumer will be eating much of that cost. I think the dealers will eat most of that cost. But again, guys, that is my opinion. Don't make any decisions based off that. The way I feel like you should play the game right now is just be patient, or buy something that's in stock. I think eWheels has some things in stock. Alien Rides has some things in stock. UCO probably has some things in stock. Any company that has wheels in stock is the way to go. If they don't, I would just be a little bit patient. There's no need to rush and put yourself into a stressful position unless you're willing to pay the tariff. If you are at worst case scenario willing to pay the tariff, then you have nothing to worry about, because you'll just pay the tariff and you get your wheel. So, but just know that it's 145%. It's quite a hefty tariff. So, let's get into my most dangerous moment here. My most dangerous moment. I wanted to get into some safety tips first, guys. I'm seeing a lot of ankle injuries, really bad ankle injuries. I'm not going to put them up on the screen because they're just gnarly. And I've had, actually, we can put a video of where I hurt my ankle. It was one of my worst injuries. Like, I was still able to semi-walk, but, like, I was in pain, and it affected me in races for almost a year and a half later. I feel like I'm pretty good now. I think I'm pretty much healed from it. But I'll put up a video of me messing around on the MCM5 at a skate park. I was waiting for some one-wheel friends, and so I was like, oh, I'll just play around on the skate park on a super small wheel, riding without a helmet. I almost even hit my head, but the backpack kind of saves me from that kind of injury. Like, you hit instead of hitting the back of your head, you'll hit your backpack first. Your head still may snap and hit the pavement, but yeah, I was messing around on the MCM5 like a weirdo. I don't like skate parks. I try to stay away from skate parks, and this is one of the main reasons why, because yeah, I almost hurt my ankle here. And the injuries I'm seeing, guys, a lot of people are preparing for a race, and they prepare very aggressively. It's a mistake I've made. I broke my ribs before the very first Apple Valley. What helped kickstart racing was Apple Valley 1, people seeing my drone shots and how cool it was racing on circuit, and then more people came to Apple Valley 2. But Apple Valley 1, I almost didn't go, and I think that would have affected the EUC timeline of racing, because with that drone shots, I was able to get Chooch to come to the second one. I was like, look how cool this is. And more people will come to the second one, and then more the third, and then boom, we hit like a peak. Now it kind of seems like racing is kind of on the downhill a little bit. I don't know why, just so many races and not a lot of racers. You know, it is the pinnacle of EUC riding is racing. You really get to test yourself at the highest level. So guys, the ankle injuries I'm seeing, most of them can be easily prevented with ankle support in your shoes. I really recommend getting good ankle support. I will put some links to some shoes, and I'll put some shots on this video here of shoes I would recommend. And anything that doesn't have ankle protection, I would stay away from, especially if you're getting into racing seriously, because when you get into racing seriously, you tend to make decisions you wouldn't normally take, because you have to find ways to cut milliseconds and seconds. First, you got to cut off seconds off your time, but when you get to the top level, it's like just milliseconds that someone's finishing in front of you, and so you have to be more aggressive, and you have to take risks that you wouldn't. And with locked-in pads, one of the comments I saw, man, was he was super locked in, and the wheel twisted with his ankle in and just snapped his ankle, guys. And also, I think I've told this one before, but I've seen someone's pedals cut their Achilles tendon. If they had ankle protection on, that wouldn't have happened. So, man, I cannot recommend ankle protection enough. I hope you guys don't mind me talking about safety in these videos, because we are knights, and knights need their armor, because there are arrows and there are people slinging rocks at us. You know, metaphorically speaking here, we are on the front lines of battle. We are the ultimate out of all the PVs, e-bikes, scooters, one wheels. I think we are in the most dangerous position, because we have the most power and we have nothing to stop us from eating face first into the pavement, except for your full face helmet. And there's just so much, it's such a different way of moving. There is nothing on this earth like a gyroscopic wheel, where it is your full body, every micro movement, every like little twist, every little arm movement, every little gust of wind affects you on the wheel. And here, okay, let's go ahead and get into my most dangerous moment. I almost, like, this would have been bad, but even with ankle protection, I would have hurt both my ankles. I don't even know. It would have been bad. But I was going down these stairs. I don't do this kind of thing anymore. Bombing down these stairs, and yeah, you can see where I kind of lift off for a moment, and the wheel kind of goes sideways, and I just barely, with every ounce of my being, was able to pull it back together. Now, the guy at the bottom had waited for us to come down, so he wasn't. He was prepared for the worst, and he was, you know, watching out, make sure nothing went wrong. And yeah, so man, it was really just me risking myself, and it was not worth it for this type of video. I always talk about risk reward. The risk is I die essentially, or have a serious catastrophic injury, and then even worse, maybe even hurting somebody else. That is even worse than hurting yourself, karmically speaking, because you're doing some silly stunt in Valencia, Spain. And then the reward is, ooh, maybe I get a few views, maybe I impress a few people. So the risk does not match up with the reward, right? There is no match up there. So that's what you should think about before, if you're a content creator, before you do anything. What is the risk? If you're going to a race, what is the risk? And what is the possible reward? What are you getting out of it? And if the risk does not match with the reward, I highly recommend you rethink the action and just enjoy your riding, because the worst thing that a EUC rider, a true EUC rider, if you are called to be a EUC rider, the worst thing that could happen to you is not being able to ride, to be stuck watching my videos. You know what I mean? I try to make exciting videos that make people want to go out and ride. If you saw my last music video, I think a lot of people really enjoyed that. I like making those type of videos, but those take a lot of work and they don't get as many views. So the incentive to make them is not so high. I really make them for myself and for the community. And I have some more. I'll make like some race montages and stuff like that coming up. All right. Let me know what you thoughts. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. I really appreciate your comments. Any likes. This is a niche hobby. I am a niche content creator. So any like, any support you can give me really helps me out. Shouting me out in positive ways really helps me out, and your positive comments, all that stuff is amazing to me. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves so that one day maybe we can ride together. That would be awesome. Maybe we could race together or ride together one day in the future. Hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, stay in the Zen Zone.